Hi everyone, today I shall discuss about the thorax, which one day before the examination how will you recapitulate. Now you know the thoracic cage consists of the ribs, the 12 pair of ribs, the 12 thoracic vertebrae, and in front there is the sternum. Now the ribs are typical and atypical. You see the atypical ribs, this is the first rib, shortest and curvest among the all ribs, and the two end touches the ground when you make it flat. Then the second rib, that is twice the length of the first rib, and you also see this rib also the two end is touches the actually the floor where it lies. Now this is the typical rib. Now typical rib, you see the posterior end is higher up and anterior end is below, and anterior end there is the cup shaped depression, and in the posterior end you will see the two demifacet which will articulate with the vertebra. One of the corresponding vertebra, another is the vertebra above. And there are other two atypical ribs. They are the 11th rib, where you will see the single facet, you will see only the tapering part, and here the 12th rib, the smallest one, there is the single facet and ends in the tapering margin. Now you will see apart from these ribs, you will see there is a thoracic vertebrae. You see the anteroposterior diameter of the thoracic vertebrae is, now this is the first thoracic, you will see this is the third thoracic vertebra. The anteroposterior and transverse diameter is equal, and you will see the vertebral canal is rounded, and here the transverse process is directed backwards. So this is the typical thoracic vertebra, and there are two demifacet, one is upper, another is the lower demifacet. Now you should know in the thorax what is the intercostal space. Now intercostal space, this is a space between the two subsequent ribs, and this space is occupied by the muscle, vessels and nerve. You know there are three muscles that helps in the respiration, and you will see these are the structure that lies in the intercostal space. You know this, the upper one is the vein, the middle one is the artery, red color, and this is the nerve, this black one. So this is the constituents of the intercostal space. And one should know our thorax is conveniently divided into mediastinum, and there are in the middle mediastinum there is the heart. And we will know that 2/3 of the heart is laid on the left side and 1/3 of the right of the midline. So you will notice that this heart is very important. It is enclosed within the pericardium, which is a fibroserous sac, and within this pericardium you will get the transverse pericardial sinus and the oblique pericardial sinus, which is important for accumulation of the fluid. The oblique pericardial sinus lies behind the left atrium, and transverse pericardial sinus, it lies above the left atrium. So this is the position of these two pericardial sinus, and when there is pericardial effusion, there is compression of the heart, and there is problem in the circulation. Next, what is the arterial supply of the blood? You know the arterial supply of the blood is by the two coronary artery, of which the left coronary artery is wider than the right coronary artery. And this arterial supply is very important, you know, because coronary artery disease is very common in older age group as well as in the young age also. So you will see there is a term which is known as the coronary dominance. You know that it depends upon the arising of the posterior interventricular artery. If the posterior interventricular arises from the left circumflex, then it is left dominance, and if it arises from the right coronary artery, then it is the right dominance. Now in our country there is the right dominance, but everywhere in the book you will see that there is the left dominance, because in the Western country there is the left dominance. So this is the thing you should remember. Another thing you should remember, that the lungs is the essential organ of respiration. It is subdivided into number of segments by the supply of the aerated by the portion of the lung aerated by the tertiary bronchus, that is known as the bronchopulmonary segment. In a lung, there are 10 bronchopulmonary segments. In the left lung, the bronchopulmonary segment is suppressed. That's why in some book it is written as the 8, but you should tell that this is the 10 bronchopulmonary segment in the each lung. Now, what is COPD? You will heard this name. The COPD means chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. There are plenty of disease, asthma, those who work in the silicon factory or in the asbestos company will see there is also the disease appeared, the chronic obstructive disease. So this is the COPD. In this case, ultimately there is the lung failure and there is the death of the person. So these are the things you should remember before the examination. Thank you everyone.